Okay, and 7:34. Happy Thursday to you. Happy early birthday to America. It is Thursday, and it's a great day because we get to hear probably the sweetest voice in radio, like the nicest voice genuinely in radio. And I said that before I even met him, to be honest with you. Joshua Dobi, president of North Main Financial Group, located in Cornelius. He's also the host of Dollars and Cents every Thursday here on WSIC from 4 to 5 p.m. Joshua, good to see you.
Good to be with you.
In person here, in the flesh.
Goodness. Yeah, early morning rides this morning.
There you go. Now you're a world traveler. You've got offices in multiple states. You kind of go back and forth between North Carolina and Pittsburgh mostly, but I imagine you have clients all over the country. I don't think I've actually asked you this question before. What is your origin story? How did you get into, you're 21, 22 years old. How did you get into the financial game and then now end up where you're at as president of North Main Financial Group?
Thanks, Justin, for that question. It's going to be not exactly a riveting story. Let's say that it was more a product of my youthful delusion of playing college football that came to a crushing end with my fourth knee reconstruction. That really kind of kicked it off. I know it's not a very inspiring story, but it's actually whenever that came to a close my junior year in college that I knew I wanted to get in this business. I knew about it. At that time, pre-internet, I'd spent a lot of time just getting up to speed on it, what was necessary, a lot of time in the library. And when that went away, when football went away, then I just kind of dove into it. And so, yeah, at 20 years old, wouldn't you want to give your life savings to a college junior who's just trying to figure out how to make his way? So anyhow, not exactly the brightest way to get started, but that knocking on doors, kind of stuffing mailboxes to get the word out that folks wanted to sit down and talk about their finances.
Over the years, like everyone knows who Warren Buffett is, right? Like, we know who this is. So who are some of the financial folks that over your years that you can pin to and say, hey, I've gotten inspiration or learned from in some way, shape, or form?
Really, one of the big ones in my end of the world is a gentleman named Benjamin Graham, who has been dead for a long time and was rather prolific as an author in talking about what makes the markets tick. Why is a company valued in this way? Is this a good buy? Is it not a good buy? Is it how do you buy things in certain ways, hold on to some things and sell other things? It's a very, very technical, very scientific look at the markets, but I read all of his papers and books. And that really gave a good, solid academic foundation. But the truth is, like any business, it's a little bit of, not a lot. It's a lot of doing it, just getting out there, right? Because there's only so much you can learn in the classroom. Only so much, this as a business owner. I mean, there are a lot of things that folks will tell you that, and then your experience is completely different. You think I'm completely crazy, and then you go through that 3 or 4 times a day. And if you can endure 10 years of that, then you might have a chance of success. So, and all the small business owners out there, I know, recognize exactly what I'm saying when I'm saying that. So yeah.
All right, as a certified financial planner, you've got to analyze quite a few things, and the way that you guys analyze someone's portfolio or the way a company's doing today in 2025, with all this technology, with all this change and all this going on, it seems like there's more speculation in the market almost. Is that a real thing? Do you see that, or is that just, again, more like white noise that you're able to kind of see through?
It's definitely white noise in my end of the world, because there's always been speculation in the market. And actually, a healthy amount of speculation is not only important, but it's necessary in the market. You need folks who are wanting to take risk. You need folks who are willing to put capital in play for the opportunity of a future return, right? So that's the 101. Look at it from an investment standpoint. But what has happened over my 30 years of doing this business is that the explosion and access points, meaning explosion in terms of the amount of data and the access points in terms of the ease of being able to grab it, has just gone off the charts. And we were just joking there during the break. I mean, I started out in a library. I literally did. I mean, I was going through manuals and periodicals and books in the library trying to get up to speed on what this business actually was. Now, in 30 seconds on our smartphones, you can pretty much get what took me 10 years to figure out. So when you're looking at it in that way, and I think that's both good and bad. I think it's good because it widens the number of participants in the markets, which I think is very, very good in terms of access, so that folks have easier means of access to it. But I think it's also not good because you mentioned white noise. It is comprehensive and overwhelming. It's very, very hard to figure out, at least in my world. It's very, very hard to figure out what's important and what's not.
you have so many decades in general in a market, just since the market was created, if you like the stock exchange, we could just even say, right, traditional of companies and shares of the company. But now you throw in crypto and tokenization, and you got meme coins named Fart Coin, you know what I mean, that you can buy in a portfolio. So it's how are you looking at that and the potential future effect of all of these new products, if you would, that are being introduced for consumers to be able to buy?
I'm always for the market stretching out a little bit, meaning whether I think it's a good investment or not, I think it's always important for the market to be evolving. It's very easy when you get to be a kind of a stodgy old guy like me to say, well, only the things that we did when I was younger. Well, every old guy says that, right? But relative to whether you're talking about stable coins, crypto, and I'm very thankful that there is a willingness by the market to stretch in that direction. How's it going to shake out? I have no idea. What's going to, and we have this conversation with clients all the time because crypto is not a securitized asset. Got to disclose that as well. So we don't buy or sell cryptocurrency, but there are now securitized instruments, ETFs, futures contracts that are out there that are directly linked to cryptocurrency that we can use. But again, we talk about speculation, a healthy amount of speculation, folks willing to take risks. Does that mean everybody's going to do well and make money? No, actually by design. There are a certain number of folks who are not. But I'm thankful for folks who are willing to take that risk. And what we've also seen, which I think is the most important thing, there absolutely is a market demand for it. And I think as that continues to proliferate and to expand, I think that's going to be very healthy for the market. So anything that's looked at as an alternative currency, I think could be a good thing.
Joshua Dobi, he's the president of North Main Financial Group. He's also the host of Dollars and Cents. It airs every Thursday from 4 to 5 p.m. You got anything laid out for the show, or is it even for you, like you watch the market until literally you walk through the door to see what there is?
Well, today I'm watching C-SPAN. Right? I got to see what happens on Capitol Hill. And as we all know, there are all kinds of things that can happen between now and 4 o'clock Eastern. Now, I'm going to be definitely talking about the markets. A lot has happened in terms of announcements. We got a jobs report from ADP on Wednesday. Certainly companies are trying to position themselves. We got a pretty heavy hammer on the healthcare sector yesterday because of some expectation of what's going to pass through Congress. And so is that going to hold? Meaning, is it actually going to pass that way now that the bill's been pushed back to the House? So we're going to talk a lot about that from a what may happen standpoint. But I don't spend a tremendous amount of time on it because also until it happens, it's not real. So we're going to spend time on that, time on the markets. And yes, we're probably going to talk a little bit about food as well. It is July 4th. Happy 4th.
That's right. Happy 4th. You big fireworks guy?
I can take them or leave them. I mean, I know that's an old man thing to say that. I like the experience. And yes, I am more sensitive to the big booms in my age now. So
wakes you up in the middle of the night.
It does. I mean, for a guy that likes to go to sleep by 7:30, 7:45 in the evening. What do you mean you're starting at 9:30? How dare you?
Globalization seems to be another kind of thing going on here with connectivity, technology again, and the digital stuff. Banks, though, have been transactioning digitally for a long time, though, haven't they been?
Absolutely true. And that's part of the discussion whenever we're talking about, folks say, well, digital dollar, we're going to do away with the greenback. I don't think it's outside of the realm of most folks' experiences. How many folks carry around a lot of cash? I mean, I just had a conversation last night with a restaurant owner and talking about the number of transactions that they have and how many are actually in cash currency. It's less than 3%.
Oh, wow.
And that's just, it's a local restaurant, local business. So when you're talking about that and then extrapolating about it, I mean, for most folks, they're not using much greenback or much currency in its hard form, meaning in your hand. So we've been doing that, to your point, for an extended period of time now. So to expand a little bit in terms of the instruments that are available in terms of moving things digitally, I don't think is a very far step. I know sometimes it gets a bad name associated with it, but it has been happening. It will continue to happen. And because of the ease and efficiency, probably a good thing.
It's funny because if you go to a restaurant locally, like not even just a town you're traveling to for tourism, right? They're used to opening cash registers and stuff. But imagine popping out, a 20 for a Gen Zer to open a cash register.
I don't even know what to do.
And give me my $3.46.
Well, they got to have the calculator there. And that's not saying anything about Gen Zers, but I mean, they just do it so infrequently that they got to, okay, let's carry the one, and all of that kind of stuff. Anyhow.
Joshua Dobi, he is the president of North Main Financial Group, and he is also the host of Dollars and Cents. It airs every Thursday here on WSIC from 4 to 5 p.m. You can catch the show live today. Plenty to do. I think Congress is literally in the chamber right now.
It's happening
figuring
right now.
things
You're
out,
right.
making it up as they go. And so we'll see what Joshua can make up today on the show. Remember, it's not financial advice, though. That's
It is
always
definitely not financial advice. Contact your advisor.